Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Fragments of Loss, the Rangers of a Broken World playtest series we're doing here on Sword and Key. We are super delighted to have any of you who are able to tune in on this fine day amidst all the different things that are happening, and we can also celebrate as well, one, that it's Pride Month, because yay Pride, but two, we have Amber back. Amber's here. Hello, we missed you. We love you. We're so glad you're here. But today is going to be a very interesting session for all of us because I have many an emotional thing planned. Before we get into that, I want to make a few quick notes up front. Number one, this is a charity series, folks. We do have an ongoing charity that we are supporting in Trans Lifeline, and that we are looking forward to, at any given point, if you are able to give some support through donations and such, our cast would deeply appreciate it, as it would let them get a bunch of little perks. Yes, we have so many commands and things going on in this chat right now, but anything that you're able to contribute will go to Trans Lifeline, which, given the ongoing assault on trans social existence and overall facing the threat of eradication in both a legal and direct sense from a lot of society right now in the US and elsewhere, it's very critical to have these kinds of resources being supported. So if you are able to contribute, we would deeply appreciate it, and our players would deeply appreciate any contributions you can give. As you can even see on the overlay, all of them, for the most part, have a variety of different things that they have been slowly using up since the massive blitz of things that happened at the start, where we started with a goal of $100 for donations, and then we had to very quickly move that up to now $500. So we're gonna see if that happens. But with that being said, the other thing that I want to get into before I let our cast introduce themselves real quick is that this series as a whole deals with a lot of difficult topics. There are, at its very core, issues around environmental loss and degradation, cataclysms and calamities. There is great elements of loss and mental health being discussed. There's a lot of discussions of the lingering impacts of empire, war, and death. And also, one of the main mechanics of the system is literally called scatter and is a mild form of dissociation. So if these are subjects that you feel you could not engage with comfortably or safely, we understand if you need to leave. No actual play is ever worth you sacrificing your mental health. But with those sorts of warnings out of the way, I'm going to let my cast introduce themselves, and I'm going to start going clockwise, which means Gena, you're up first.
Hi, I'm Gina. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Adestia, a windswept cavalier who also uses she, her pronouns. And I have my Cloud Elk friend, Ransor, who is a he, him, and so far as Cloud Elks have gender, which I don't, that's a situation I'm not currently on the up and up about.
We're Adestia is on the cutting edge of gender exploration when it comes and knowledge when it comes to Cloud Elk. We have yet to determine actual understandings of it yet. But carrying on from that, another bed of chaos, which is brings every one of us joy every single week. Mirm, you're up.
Wow. All the nice things you say about me. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Mirm. I use she, they pronouns, and today I will be playing Wea, who uses they, them pronouns, and they are our volcanic tracker and current iguana. So let's see what happens with that.
Also, as a note to everyone, it is not a compliment for me if it's just a statement of fact. Most of the time, it's just a statement of fact. So deal with it. And also, someone who will be dealing with repercussions of having been gone last week is Amber. So go.
Hi, my name is Amber and I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Azura, who also uses she, they pronouns. She is a title navigator.
Fantastic. And last but not least in our cast of magnificence is the ever impressive Sebastian.
Hello, I'm Sebastian. I use they, them pronouns. I'm playing Kildrinith, who also uses they, them pronouns. They are a beckoning infiltrator.
Fantastic. And so we are going to get into it now as we jump into session 7, Unearthing Memories. The group having had interesting conversations with various scholars of different fields of psychotechnics, psychopump studies, and can't remember what the last one was that I came up with. Something else. But in talking with all these scholars, I've gained a much more background sense of what could be at the heart of the different issues that they have been seeing crop up in the various automatons that have appeared across all of Amilta. The group, despite being facing some hesitation, having some hesitation about it, decided to find a ship as quickly as they could and make their way out to the islands nearby off the coast, making into what they came to understand was a valley of islands that, while many of the volcanoes that were said to be dormant, were being reactivated one by one. And through what was a very close call of having a 10-segment clock going that filled up to, I think, about 8 or 9, managed to just make their way to the core of one of the mountains that essentially acts as the side aspect of one of these volcanoes, and discovered the source of the problem, a massive land iguana that, for the most part, looked like an iguana except for the sort of spiny parts along its back being essentially made of kind of a crystalline, shadowy, ethereal substance. The group took to trying to handle the situation and found a way to redirect its attention by essentially having Weya be on its head, and as of now, they've directed it away from the core of the volcano. And in determining what they were going to do to try and handle the situation, Keladrinith had the very insightful idea of, why don't we just follow where it goes? Which, honestly, good call. Because you have managed to find, it is getting near the latter parts of the day, you found some distance out in the waters, or a little bit away from the coastline of the beach itself, you see a figure that has emerged out of the water that, if you did not give them a second look, would appear human. A half-shaven hair on one side, the rest of it almost like strawberry blonde with tints. It's like strawberry blondish hair that has tints of red and sort of flakes of blonde instead. Deep brown skin, scars across the face. They look like, the scars look more like bits of metal have kind of been dented across their face instead. And you would presume that this is likely Sarah, the individual who has been calling them back, who has been calling all of these automaton-like creatures back. Oh, and one last bit, basically all around the joints sections of their bodies, you can see also fragments of metal, much like the creature, the automaton beings you've been facing. And so that is where we pick up. As sunset is approaching, and you're seeing this figure just kind of emerge out of the water. They're not on a boat, they're not on anything, they're just kind of like, almost like they're like a revenant or like a skeleton, like walking out of the water, the hair on one half of their face just sort of like pooling down like tendrils of seaweed.
So how do we get over there?
Aren't they coming over here?
They are coming over in your direction.
Oh, okay, in which case all we gotta do is stay. Great. Makes our job
Yeah.
easy.
Sweet.
One of you is riding the giant iguana.
And I do not move.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Staying like to the back of the group, keeping my
What's-
distance.
What's the temperature like when we're finally not inside the volcano anymore?
It's much more bearable.
Thank fuck.
You are not a goth suffering for your aesthetic anymore.
Good.
There is a cool breeze happening. and the individual is just sort of walking towards the iguana. They don't really seem to have fully noticed you all being there yet. They're just sort of walking with a purpose, like as though they just suddenly, oh look, there's a person coming out of the water. That's not creepy at all.
And we're on land, correct?
You're on land. You're like, think beachside kind of situation.
Got it.
An individual walks towards you, and it takes stock of the land, essentially the land iguana kaiju that one of your party is riding. Who are all of you? You are not designation Odette. Why are you here?
Do they pick up on the fact that I'm
They don't seem to have noticed you.
okay?
I'm just gonna say we're here to meet you, of course.
I did not have plans to meet anybody. Who are you? Please identify yourself immediately.
Surprise! I'm Kildrenith.
I am not fond of surprises. I prefer
Very
things to
well.
be planned and orderly. Hello there. Who are the rest of you?
Azura.
I'm like, I'm like way in the back, but so I'm just like, I'm just giving a look. I'm not identifying myself. I'm not helping.
The individual, the being turns to look at you, Adestia. I asked you a very simple question. I am inclined to believe that most people would identify themselves when asked very politely and respectfully to please identify themselves.
Right, I'm trying to think of a smart ass thing to say.
By all means, take your time.
I just don't give my name out to anybody.
How very strange. Are you normally this mistrusting of anyone that you meet?
Yeah, you're not special in this regard.
I've been led to believe that such rudeness is often uncalled for unless prompted. What have I done to prompt this behavior?
That's just how she is.
Interesting. And how are you like?
Me?
And there's just, yeah, it's just looking at you, and it's again, it's very like uncanny valley levels of human where they're like the being is looking at you and you swear it's just a person looking at you, but it looks too, I don't know what's the best way of putting it. It's piercing, like it's looking straight through you. Oh dear, we may have lost Gena. Unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully that will be solved in a moment. But anyways, the being is just looking at you.
I don't know.
You do not know who you are.
Well, I don't know what I'm like. It's a very strange question.
My apologies if I've offended you with my question.
No, not offended. Just, and then Azura will turn to Keldrina. That's a weird question, right?
No.
It's
Sort of also now turning to look at the larger iguana and noticing the smaller iguana on it. Odette, you appear to have some sort of creature riding on top of you. Would you like me to remove it? Odette, the land iguana, like nods its head.
I would like to scurry away.
Okay. I would like you to roll for this because the moment that Odette gives an indication of yes, I would like you to get rid of it,
Mm-hmm.
the group watches as almost violently around this being,
Mm-hmm.
tendrils of dark shadow and aether lash out. Like, imagine just talking to a person and all of a sudden fucking octopus tentacles just came out of them and just lashed out at you.
Yeah.
That's basically the suddenness of it. So I would like you to roll. This is a difficulty 3.
Okay. I'd like to roll daring with my skill of athletics. And I'd like to use the key of resilience.
That is a good call. Roll that shit.
Woo. Two successes, one edge success.
Two successes, one edge success, you said?
Yes.
I will give you that you are not going to face any immediate harm from this, but the being is going to have a hold on you. You are not hurt. The being is just, it doesn't know what you are.
Okay.
Is that a yes for taking that?
Yes.
It's like tendrils of long, dark aether tentacles just lash out and wrap around you and pull you close to this being. How very curious. You do not seem indigenous to this island habitat.
When I'm in this form, what do I speak common? Am
Does
I
your ability say you can talk?
the
Rules is written, buddy.
uh I'm gonna say oh wait. Because I'm still in this form, I get 2 additional dice.
That's true. If you wanna add 2 more to avoid this entirely, roll it.
Please.
Because otherwise you have shadow aether octopus tentacles grabbing you, and I don't think you
That
want to be in that situation, buddy.
that's 2 threes.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
It
work.
doesn't it says that your body is intertwined with or changes to mimic. So, because I'm mimicking, would that make it me unable to speak common
I
or
would say if you're taking on a creature, and this is not a creature that is known to be able to speak to humans, you can't talk right now. So unless you would like to
okay.
pop out of this form immediately,
I think as soon as like it grabs hold of me, I come out of the form in like a panic of trying to get back on the on Odette, basically.
the tentacles like hold you, but the moment that you turn back, they stop. Curious. I've never known humans to be able to transform, at least not in this fashion. Explain yourself.
Um, so, you know, I uh I work right alongside the big crystal, the one on the ground. You know, Sifu, the one and only.
Ah, yes, I do recall being reading tales of this.
Yeah. So I'm I'm not indigenous to this island, but I'm from over there, and I point toward the Coral Coast.
Hmm. How very peculiar.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to ask again, why have you chosen to come here and meet me? What is your purpose here?
Me specifically?
All of you.
Oh, I don't want. I don't think I should
Yeah.
talk.
Uh, we've been encountering unusual automata, and they have posed significant threat to the inhabitants of the land and the land itself. We would like to uh, assist with whatever unfinished business they may have, such that nobody is endangered.
That is a rather peculiar claim for you to make.
What do you mean? Why, what makes it peculiar?
None of them are going to pose any sort of harm. They are simply returning home to where they once belonged.
Our encounters have been a look over at Azura.
Slightly damaging to the existing structure of life.
I do not see what the problem with this is.
But
People are dying,
yeah,
potentially.
if we wouldn't have been there to stop them, my hand like still fully on the iguana. I'm like the next island has a bunch of people on it, and all of those people would have died.
That is rather unfortunate, but it is simply a matter of returning the land to what it was.
But you're destroying it first. I mean, lava creates fire, and then fire destroys everything, and then it takes hundreds, if not thousands of years for the land to be back to what it was.
That is not my concern.
But it's not quite fair to the people who exist there. I mean, it's not their fault that these things are happening.
There is a look in one of their eyes of absolute fury looking at you, Azura, in response to saying that. Fair. That is a word you would use in my presence.
Well, I mean, even if you weren't here, I would have said that word. So, I mean, it's not really in just because of you per se, but it's not right to harm people who have done no wrong.
And how do you know that they have done no harm?
Well, I mean, I didn't ask every single person that was on the path to that, but uh, we should assume that in general, the human race is, then those who occupy cities and towns like it are good.
Sort of one eye still looking at Azura, the other eye looking at Keladrineth. Where do you hail from?
Great question. I am from Rimehold. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
So the people there, maybe less so, but not all of them.
Less so. Like the sort of just slowly walking towards the group.
Okay. I'm not moving.
Do you know how many have been lost for Rimehold?
Do I? I'm from there. Like I'm asking you, Angela, not the person.
You would probably have a guess as
Yeah,
to
I probably
how
have a good
much
guess.
it is.
Probably a lot, a very high number.
There is a like like as you've said, Rimehold, there is like the human aspects of the form. It looks as though the metallic parts are kind of like almost like starting to jut out just the tiniest bit. Like there is a burgeoning fury that is growing in
Yeah,
this.
I mean, fair enough. I'm just gonna, uh, if I had to, is that a rhetorical question, or are you actually looking for an answer? You know, just so we're
It's
on
your
the
call.
same page here.
Uh, above table.
Okay,
They seem open to hearing it.
okay. It's a decently big city. 70,000.
That sounds about right. Do you know how many of them have been with me, telling me exactly how much they have suffered for all of Rhymehold's interests? And you watch as, like, in the cracks that are slowly jutting out of their body, you watch as, like, a whirl of almost like haunting fog of gray and black emerges out of this person, just surrounding them in a shroud that is just constantly there. Those same faces I would say Azura saw when you communed with the first giant land tortoise, the ones that were like the faces like peering through, screaming and in agony. There's dozens, if not hundreds, of faces you can see amidst the shroud.
The people of a city, though, do they deserve to be punished for what the government of the city has done? They can't help their location. They can't help the system that oppresses them. Do they deserve to be maimed or killed because they live under a regime that oppresses them?
Perhaps not. But when all of you actively keep me from fulfilling my duty, then I must ask, how are you without guilt, without culpability in this case?
Oh, trust me, I am full of guilt for everything I've ever done in my entire life. You don't have to worry on that part.
I don't. You do not strike me as one who requires much prodding to break themselves.
You are right. But I have a question though, because who are you?
Mayor being very nice and ask, how much of this is Amber? How much of this is Azura? I'm designation unit Sarah. I am Scatter Assisted Revenant Attack Hub, Guardian of Celis, Speaker to the Land, and Protector of Rhymehold and all beyond.
This makes so much more sense. That's from Azura.
Yeah. And yeah. And you had a friend who assisted you. You had the druid.
Yes. There's, in the first time since this entire conversation started, the face has a note, like kind of the tenseness and like the jaw and everything kind of softens just a little bit. How do you know of Celis?
Well, we first heard the name when one of these, well, automata emerged from the ocean. And in attempting to communicate with it, that name was revealed. And then later, I experienced it in a dream.
Sort of moves closer and closer. Is only like a few feet away from you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna move back.
So
That's
no,
fine.
they're not a massive
Mhm.
being. They're mostly human sized and shaped, except maybe like a few inches taller than what would be a tall human. So probably more around like they're
Like 6 feet.
yeah, closer to
Okay.
like 6 feet. So they're not like the most imposing presence, but there is certainly like an aura and presence around Sarah that is, it doesn't, there's almost like a noxious quality, like being around them feels like you suddenly have, if you ever have, I'm sure this will be not too difficult for many of us in this group to understand. If you ever know that voice inside your head that suddenly at like 2 a.m. in the morning brings up all of the worst things that have happened in your life when you're trying to fall asleep, that it feels like that voice is suddenly being put on a megaphone.
Oh,
Like that's the emotional equivalent of what you feel as
uh,
she's moving closer.
okay. I'm gonna do my best in that case to not move backwards or try to run away from her. It's kind of important that we have this conversation.
I
I
think
see.
Azura's used to that feeling, so she's not also, she's just right there.
Meanwhile, Wea, as Wea reacting to feeling this voice getting louder.
Wea's just livid and just happy that they're not unconscious. They're just like, yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
You're
They're
happy
kind of
to have
like
be
trying to
alive.
block it out. Yeah. They're just like actively like in their mind being like, it's fine. Everything is okay. I'm not an iguana anymore, but I got my hand on the iguana. I got my hand on the iguana.
Yeah, this day could, yeah, I get it. This day could be worse. You could not have your hand on the iguana. Like, I get
Yeah.
it.
It's the last thing. It's the last thing.
There's again, there's a softening to the voice and to the expression on her face. Have you seen Celis?
No, but I have felt them.
Where? Where are they? Where is she?
I'd hoped you might know, but perhaps we could look together.
You said you've seen her, yes?
I, no, I said I felt her.
Where did you feel her? Where? Tell me.
Uh, can I just like take her hand and place it like on my forehead?
As you do this, there is like, have you ever seen someone who it's very clear they have like a lot of tension like in their shoulders?
Yes.
It seems like in response to her noticing, and again, it's this very uncanny valley of like very human, but just the tiniest bit is off, sort of like looks over at Odette, and you watch as sort of like one tendril sort of emerges from out of like their stomach and grasps all of Odette and pulls it into her, and it just sort of like congeals down into another aspect of shadow and enters her body. I cannot feel her. I only have memories. Where is she?
Again, I don't know exactly, but I'd be willing to help you look.
Why? What do you have to gain from helping me?
She's clearly important to you.
She is my duty. She is what I was designed to protect. Huzzah, I believe we have Gena back. I think. Maybe. Yes? No? Can you hear us? Okay. Just as a note, the being known as Sarah, which gave the meaning to the acronym, it is Scatter Assisted Revenant Attack Hub.
Yeah. So that's not great.
Yeah, I don't like that
I don't,
phrase.
I actually do not, in fact, like the sound of any one of those individual words, and the string of them is
You can thank my
concerning.
Bad.
partner for coming up with the acronym.
Yes.
I came up with the names, they came up with the acronyms. It was great. But the group, so that Adestia knows what is going on, the group did watch as Sarah pulled the entire iguana into herself, like just kind of condensed it into a shadowy aether form and pulled it using a long shadowy tentacle from her stomach into herself.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, you missed a lot, buddy. That's why I have to catch you up, and you
I'm
get the
just
more brutal
going
version.
I'm just
Nope,
going
nope,
to
nope, nope, nope,
assume
nope.
everything that happened was bad.
Not necessarily.
I tried to have a moral fight with this creature, so it's fine.
And I'm still scattered.
Oh yeah, you're mostly scattered. I almost forgot about
I
that.
am one away from absolutely passed out. That's how scattered I am.
Oh, so that means if you had failed that roll, you would have dropped.
Uh-oh.
Ah. I think there is just like confusion in Sarah's face. She just it's the equivalent of like if you've ever seen in movies where like a robot just sort of has that like does not compute kind of jittery head
Mm-hmm.
motion. Like it doesn't she doesn't understand what you were saying. Like it makes no sense to her. It's like that doesn't make you are human, yes?
Yes.
Then why do you care about others?
Do you don't expect humans to care about each other?
People die for each other. People fight for each other. People have duties and obligations to each other. But caring is very unique. I have only ever known Celis to care. The rest of you, I am uncertain.
I don't
mean-
think that everybody cares about other people, but I don't think that's I don't think that's the standard.
I mean, caring is also one of the reasons why humans fight and die for each other.
Is that why they fought for each other? Is that why they died for each other? It's the voice is seemingly getting like off, like she doesn't like it's the equivalent of like you've had a .exe error,
Mm.
like you are watching that happen on her face like right now, like, and you are hearing her say error, error. New information cannot be integrated into current understandings. Protocols must be upheld above all. And then it just her head is just sort of tilting more and more to the side to an angle that is very uncomfortable for a human like face to be doing, and then sort of just snaps back into place. I do not understand.
I don't know that it's meant to be understood. It just is.
Perhaps more investigation is required at this time. Additional understandings of the land known now as Amalta should be looked into.
Looking into them isn't going to involve further automata emergencies, is it?
Why would it not? I am simply sending my friends home.
Right.
Well, I suppose it's okay as long as it's not destructive, right? I mean, their
What?
presence isn't an issue, it's their destruction that's causing the problems.
They are simply going back home. They are making their homes if need be. What could be wrong with reclaiming one's home?
Well, the way that I think about it is like when I go home, I'm not just like busting down the door to my house and I'm like, hey, mom and dad, what are you doing? You gotta do everything for me now. It's like, you have to like kind of like um oh, it's I care about those people and I care about like the places that I live and the places that I stay and stuff. But then like I make sure that like I know that they know that I care about them by letting them know like what the boundaries are. And then we have those like talks and stuff. Like all the automata that have been coming around, they're just like destruction. First and foremost, no discussion. And then all of us here, and then I just should everybody, we make sure that the people are okay. And then sometimes we do it in a way that we are not okay.
Are you preventing my friends from going home?
No,
But they're
because
not
they are
taking
there.
they're not
They're
taking
already.
any consideration for the people who are there also.
The
I
people there
understand.
have already taken their home. Why would they not
But do those
do what
people
they can?
know? Is it their fault that they've taken that space? Not necessarily, no. So that doesn't mean that they need to have their homes deconstructed or damaged or destroyed just because someone else is on their space. Conversations can be had, adjustments can be made.
I do not understand.
Do you know, do you have, um, hmm, I don't know how to ask this. First question, are you a human, Sarah?
Designation Sarah. Designation Sarah granted sufficient protocols to enact the following measures. Understanding basic human consciousness, including understanding and comprehensive archiving of human emotions. Secondary, focus. Understanding of human relations and affairs. Third, understanding care, 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 care.
So, care, uh, understanding care is, what Celis did to help you, right? You felt like Celis was like a good, and then the rest of us are bad because Celis cared for you, right?
Celis cared for me. Celis cared for me.
Does Sarah care for Celis?
Duty of Unit Sarah, protect and uphold the well-being of designation Celis.
Okay.
Where's Celis? Tell me where Celis is. And again, the face just is seeming like the body is jittery and it doesn't seem to like fully get what's happening in this moment. Like you are asking it questions that it is causing it to basically malfunction. All it all understands is what it's been programmed to do. And it right now that you've made her remember And you're giving her more of an understanding, and she cares about Celis. Now she wants to know, where is Celis.
And we don't know,
Yeah,
right?
we don't.
No, you
Team?
don't.
No, we have no,
You
we have
really
no
don't.
idea.
Yeah.
We have no fucking idea. But you know, again, the offer's still on the table. We could help you look.
You know what?
Perchance.
Caladrenith,
Yeah.
I want you to roll for this. I want you
Okay.
to roll to see if this is convincing enough for them to go with you.
Okay. I'm gonna go with understanding. I mean, I have the skill of humanity. So to
I think
appeal
that's
to whatever
whatever
is
simulacrum of
inside,
humanity
yeah, whatever is
exists.
inside there, like to appeal to that aspect, I think. Yeah, I'll go with understanding humanity and ooh, calculation. I have which new key, so yeah. So can I do all of those?
I would say so.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a difficulty
1, 2,
of
3,
4.
Okay. Well,
You
I'm gonna be
need 4
rolling.
successes
Okay.
to try and do this.
I'm rolling 6 dice, so let's see. Ooh, okay. So that, oh my God, that is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if I use my risk taker ability, that will give me enough successes because I have a 6, a 5, a 2, and a 1. And if I treat the 2 as the edge success, that would work. Right?
Wait, you have 6, 5, 2, and a 1?
Yes, the other 2 are not relevant.
Oh, right, because
And if I
one would
use
be
my
edge,
yes, and if I use my risk taker, I can take the 2 as an edge success.
which means you would have 2 edge successes, which you could get it.
Yeah. Because yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Okay. Here is what I will offer you. It will not, Sarah will not immediately attack you,
Okay.
and Sarah is willing to have you travel with her.
Okay.
But Sarah wants insurance that you are not lying.
Okay.
So Sarah is going to let 2 of her friends go back home right now.
Okay.
Are you
What does that
willing
look
to?
like?
So here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
This is
Oh.
just think about what Sarah has said so far about trying to let her friends go back home and what that could mean.
Yes.
Are you willing to take that?
Someone is going to come out of the ocean or wherever it is they live and
You
just
also still have some rerolls and crit successes.
it's true.
There
It's
are
true.
2 crit successes if you want to burn those for this.
It's true, but I as a person want spicy, so like I'm actually not
Yes.
I'm actually not inclined to do anything to change this roll. Like unless it would
So
be
are you
upsetting
taking? So
to
are you taking the successes?
I mean with the consent of the rest of the players.
I love spicy. Let's go.
Hot, hot.
Yeah.
Gena, do you accept the spice?
I mean, go ahead.
It's like, Gena, you're an adult. You know how to make your own
Yeah.
decisions and live with them, I suppose. So, this construct, this basically a homunculus, just gets closer and closer to you, and sort of like there's barely that many inches away from your face, just staring right at you. Which for them, actually, they have to kneel down because Caladrenith is shorter than them. And Sora says, "All right then, I will let you lead the way. But I must ensure that my friends get to go back home. So, and you see her step back, and the shroud of ethereal energy that looks at best, for any of you who've had encounters with them before, more and more you realize these spirits look more like a conglomeration of just the worst kinds of human-like horrors you've ever seen surrounding the body. Two pools of them split off from her. One of them forms into a massive raven-like creature and starts just flying off in one direction. And another one takes, you hear, it sounds almost like a trumpeting kind of noise as a massive elephant just emerges on ground.
Where does it emerge from? Like from
From
her?
from
From
her,
her.
from the
Okay.
shroud itself. These are you, the thing you're realizing is these
Okay.
automata, they are not like something that just appeared or she found. They are from
They're
her.
from her. Okay.
They are manifested from
I-
her.
Okay. Do I recognize any of it? Because I kind of know shadow magic.
You know what? That is a good call. I would like you to make a roll for this.
Okay.
This will be a tiered success. 2 successes will get you base bit of information, 3 will get you more, 4 will get you comprehensive information.
Okay. I have spirits as a skill, and I'm trying to
Acceptable.
and I'm trying to gain understanding.
Yep.
Okay.
So roll that and tell me what you get.
Yeah. So that's oh. That is a 6, a 5. Yeah. I only got 2 successes.
Whatever this is, based off the information you've gotten from the professor and what all of you have shared with each other in regards to what you've learned, these seem to be, they as quote unquote solid and material as these things have felt and been in the past, you get the sense these are effectively almost like an emotional construct being made from her feelings, which is very strange to say because she is not necessarily a person with feelings, but she is close enough that she has tapped into something old and ancient as far as a magical practice, and has effectively gained the ability somehow. You don't know what is causing it. It's probably something related to the way she was constructed, but something within her is letting her hold on to the emotions of, you guess, people who she's been around. And by the looks of how she's talked to them and the faces that are all in pain,
Probably. Yeah.
they're all probably people who have passed away. So she literally is a walking archive of people who've died in war. Like, she is just listening to them constantly.
Right.
And so you have that understanding, both above table, Sebastian, and
Okay.
in game, Keledrinith has that understanding that whatever this is, it's emotions based, and it has something to do with all of those spirits that are still attached to her somehow.
Yeah. Where does the elephant go?
The elephant appears to just start heading off towards the mainland.
Oh.
It is like moving off, and then it just seems to take off into the air heading northward. And if you had to make a good guess, it's probably heading in the direction of Rimehold.
Ah.
And I would say relevant for Adestia, the Raven is heading somewhere else. The Raven is heading towards, let's make sure, towards Rose Palace Peak.
So real quick, that will probably not be well received by Sarah.
Wait, say that again?
Could I do something real quick that probably will not be well received by Sarah here?
By all means, do so. Even if it's a bad decision. I like bad decisions.
All right. I'm gonna do a bunch of things here. So, I've been on Rancer the whole time, right?
You go from one thing to a bunch of things. I love this. Let's go.
It's a bunch of things going into one thing.
Okay.
All right. So I am on Rancer, as I often am.
Correct.
I would like to spend 2 blur to activate his lightning field.
He has a lightning field?
He has a lightning field. I have just what the mechanical effects are. Let me look what the flavor text says. Oh my gosh, please load. The mechanical effects, though, is that it's an automatic +4 successes to a long-range roll okay, your elk creates a strong electric charge between its antlers. If you fire an arrow through this charge, it carries a bolt of lightning, adding 4 additional successes to your long-range roll. So I will spend 2 blur to do that. Where's my pencil? There it is. And then I would like to make
Where did you pick up this ability from?
It's in his ally pool.
Holy shit.
This is a thing that Ransour has. It's right under his spell notes.
Uh-huh.
See? It says it right there.
All right. I was getting confused for a second because I was looking at the wrong playbook. Holy fuck. That is cool.
So now that I've done that, I would like to make a long-ranged weapons roll with my bow at this raven.
Correct. Okay, fire. Jesus.
All right. I'm assuming this is a daring roll.
Yes, this is very daring.
Oh god, where'd this go? There. It's lost to the ether. And then so that is I have 3 daring because I leveled up, so it's gone from 2 to 3. And then I have a long range weapon skill, so that's 2 extra die because have leveled up. And luckily, I guess for it, none of its actually, could I make an argument here?
Yes.
That this applies to my redemption key because I have been trying to be a very good ranger and to do better for,
other people and
for
the
other
world.
people and the world. And
I'm gonna
also
say
for
yes.
Tamiris. So it is my responsibility to do this, especially since it is going toward.
It is, exactly which direction it's heading. I think Kelladriff maybe has a rough idea. You know exactly where this thing is going based on its trajectory.
Tamiris has given me like this chance, so I have to try and get this before it gets there.
Yes, Gena.
All right. So it's 3, 2, 2 plus 2. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. Ooh, actually pretty nice. So 1, 2. That's 2 6s and a 5, and then sure, why not? I have 2 edge successes on top of that. I have 2 1s. So that's 3, 4, 5, and then plus the 4 from the lightning field is 9? That's 9 successes.
Jesus Christ, Gina. So here's what happens. It is probably quick as can be. Barely anyone registers it with just how fast you fired and how quickly the lightning field was generated. May I give you a bit of narration of cool factor for your moment?
Go ahead.
It is the definition of like the slow down shot of someone in like an action movie of just sort of like taking aim at something and then it's just. It is a strike of lightning somehow erupting out of the earth instead of hitting from the heavens, just strikes and hits this raven. It is knocked down to the ground. It is not out, but the moment you do that, Like it just crashes and and you hear what must be the sound of dozens of people screaming. Dozens of people screaming from the Raven getting hit. And as a result of this, you all watch as Sarah just slams her hands onto the ground, unleashes a whirl of tendrils that surround her and knock all of you back and away. There is a look of nothing but cold, emotionless fury on Sarah's face in response to that. And there is a look of slowly growing murderous intent towards Adestia as a result of doing that.
I do have a question. So, like the raven and the elephant, did they look metallic in the same way that the other constructs look
Yep.
like? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's real fucking weird.
Okay.
That's what I go for here with my creatures.
Yeah, so
Weird
it's
as
like
shit.
it's weird as shit, but it's also like shadow spirit, but it's also mech, and it's also
Yes, it is what
organic.
happens when you get
Yeah,
someone like me reading about automata and reading about
fair.
horrors and going, what if I just
Yes.
slam that shit together? That's basically what they are. Is they are a psychic. They're like a psycho, not like the derogatory term psycho, but psycho, the like the word piece, like emotional construct made to reflect what she is, which is she is an automata who apparently has access to human emotions. And as many people who have had to experience human emotions would agree, it really, really sucks having human emotions.
True.
Especially if you feel them more intensely than everybody else.
You're carrying around like 70,000 upset
Yeah.
spirits who died in war. Yeah, understandable.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like from a top-down level, you know what? I would be mad too.
Yeah.
I would be upset too. Doesn't justify it, but I would be mad too. But yeah, she looks absolutely furious, ready to kill, and I would like to ask, just in general, what are all of you doing in response to this? Because Adestia has taken a shot. You have now been made aware that Adestia took a shot at the Raven. What are you doing? What are the rest of you doing in response to this? This is not a, to be clear, this is not a crisis scene. We're not in crisis mode or anything yet, but it could go there.
Yeah. I'm gonna just step back and let Sarah and Adestia settle this. This is not my quarrel.
Yeah, I'm probably looking at Adestia like the fuck bro. Like, it's like that's the only way I can think to describe the face that I would like. Yeah, let's just piss off the murder robot queen. It's like,
It's a murder bot.
Wea is just so exhausted and so tired that as soon as the shot goes off, they just find the nearest tree and just fall and sit with their back to it, and they're just like, I can't do anything except go to sleep right now. So you have fun over there.
Also, so valid.
I feel you on that, Pesty. So okay, so it seems like backing away. One person's like, the fuck, Adestia? What are you doing next?
What am I doing? I am holding.
Bow drawn, just
Yeah.
giving her the like evil eye at this point.
Yeah. I am keeping an ear out for what the Raven is doing.
The Raven's trying to get back up.
Ugh.
The Raven is upset, but it's still trying to get back home.
Ugh. I mean, we've seen She is a little disappointed. Nobody wants to back her up here. But I think she is kind of waiting to see if Sarah does anything else besides knock us back.
I think with you not dropping the bow, but just sort of keeping it like at attention and at the ready, says, I was right to believe that none of you care, not the way that I do. Not the way that Celis has showed me.
It's not true.
It's a two-way street, buddy.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said it's a two-way street, buddy.
Just very funny. I will say this is very funny, and it's true. But she basically just says, if you get in my way, or if you prevent my friends from getting home again, I will make sure that no one remembers you. And to ensure you do not follow me on this occasion. And you watch as a third construct emerges out of her body, and it takes on the appearance of what seems to be almost like a captain of a unit, like with a sword and a shield. But the shield seems to have almost like a lion's head design to it, and he sort of raises the shield for a moment, and you hear the sound like just echoing for a bunch of space around you, like the sound of a lion roar. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a d4 for this. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that one and that one. 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Wea and Adestia, as this roar echoes out, you feel as though your own connection to magic itself from the earth is severed. For the next small bit of time, you have no access to your personal spell notes.
Oh shit.
That's fine.
I wasn't using them anyway.
As soon as I feel that sever, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm just over here. I like tear bark off of the tree from behind me. I put it over me. I just want to just like be here. I like to be home and it's nice and it's warm. What are you doing?
Sarah just sort of looks for one last time at Caladrinus, sort of say, please do not get in my way. I will find her.
I wasn't planning on getting in. I wasn't planning on getting in your way.
Good.
But I am going to follow her. Even though she did fully tell me not to do that.
That's not getting in the way.
No, it's not exactly. I'm
It's-
just
You
I'm
are in
technically-
the opposite
yeah.
in the way. You're
Yeah,
behind.
exactly. I'm behind you. Yeah.
Actually, could I real quick before we move on? Could I?
Yes.
Does this captain look identifiable in any manner?
I would say the only one of you who maybe has a sense of picking out where the outfit and attire is even from is someone who has skill in fashion.
Hi.
That would not be me.
That would be
I
very
had
much
to ask.
me.
I just
Yeah.
had to ask.
Teledrenith, you see the attire. It is from the last war. It is.
Yeah.
It is likely
Makes
someone who.
sense. Died
It is
in the
likely
last
someone who
war.
perished. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
but you just see her just walking away, and
I am
again,
going to follow her in the most non-threatening, chill manner possible.
I am gonna follow Kaldrenith, but I have no chill. So it's in the most way I can possible. This feels very bad.
yeah, two of you are following her. It is not technically getting in her way.
Yeah, I'm prepared to argue with this automata human spirit person on technicality. She seems to like that. I'm prepared for that.
I mean, and I've already started, so there's
Yeah.
no point in stopping now.
Although seeing as Weya is not moving, I guess I'll look at my companion. Before I leave, I would fully like to I would like
I think you just picked
to
up an ability to take care of one of your
Yes, I
companions.
did.
Did you
I would
not?
like to kind of, offer them my hand and like would you take it?
Have you made your next action kind of known to me?
I think you see me kind of like jolt ever so slightly in that direction, and then I look to you and I'll go over and offer you my hand. So like yeah, you can probably tell that I'm probably gonna go that way. Like
Okay, I'll go with you if you promise to bring the iguana back.
I can
Or
promise I'll
try. It's
Yeah,
okay.
try. Great. I can
I'll
promise
bring
that
the
one.
iguana. I
Yeah,
want the
Yeah.
iguana
totally.
back. I need the iguana back. And then I tear off a giant piece of bark and wrap it around me like a shawl.
Okay.
And then I'm just walking like this.
Do you want to take my hand? Because I'm trying to heal you. It's not like
That's
necessarily.
Oh,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it just uh I like clasp it, you hear the like bark like crackling, and then I
oh
grab
no.
your hand.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna take one blur for that. I will use my bond with my teammates to help them regain myself when they are absent from their bodies. Cause a teammate to clear to scatter. So, I think that what I want to do is I kind of want to like look into your eyes, not in like a creepy way, but in like a kind of, we've we've like shared experiences and like we're buddies. Hopefully I want to channel some kind of calming emotion thing. Uh, Gudrun is not
Elizabeth,
very good at that
I think you're
necessarily,
one of the
but
coolest people that I know. I know a lot of people.
yeah, I think the same of you too.
I,
I know who you are and you're really cool. The ability is literally called I know who you are, so like, yeah.
I just want to say that Mirm RPing being this way while having the damn flower in their hair makes this that
It's
much more
it's
adorable.
very, very
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cute.
Okay. To scatter
Yeah.
away.
So that kind of helps slightly.
Kinda. Slightly.
It doesn't make it worse.
No. No. And I'm kind of like a little bit more back. I'm not as like, eh. I still kind of am.
Yeah.
You're mostly there, but less about to pass out.
Yeah, and the bark is still wrapped around me because I am still at 3 blur and I need to be a part of the environment as much as possible.
Oh
Yeah,
right, I forgot
sorry, I
about that.
can't do
That's a
anything
thing.
about the blur, but I can help the scatter. Yeah.
I keep forgetting that that's
Yeah.
a
And
thing
because
that,
Yeah,
that Merm has
I'm
to deal
rooted,
with.
baby. Every single time I take a step, there's like a little plant that like comes over and like tries to keep me in the scene in like the immediate area, and I have to like brush it off.
So
Would a walking support help you? I think Azura would be willing to hey buddy, just wrap your arm around my shoulder and we can walk together.
I need bark.
Okay, bark specifically.
It's what's around me right now.
hang on. Hang on. I have a suggestion, maybe, sort of. I have the skill in fashion. Can I like figure out some way whereby it is, like turn this into like a poncho of some kind? Find
So
a
it's
way
like
to like
got arm
find a way
movement.
to like join the two ends of the
Instead-
bark. Like, would you like that?
Instead, what you could do is do like what Samoans do, and we take palm fronds and we braid them together to make stuff.
Mm.
And so you could just do that. Because there's
Okay.
probably a bunch of palm trees anywhere around. I could just be like, here, take this, make something for me.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, fashionable, very gorgeous.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now I have a cute little hat.
I was waiting for the
Amelta
moment.
spring summer 25, beautiful. Like,
I was waiting for the moment in this session where I would make this familiar face of just like, what the fuck is going on? What are all of you doing? And I am
It's
saying
all
all of
humans.
you because Adestia, you are with this group, so you get splash what the fuckness energy added to you.
Yeah.
Take
Every
two
step.
what the fuck damage.
I've been well behaved.
Shot a raven.
You shot a raven out of
automaton.
the sky.
That's what the
You're
air
well
quotes
behaved.
were for. That's what the air quotes were
Yeah.
for.
but basically, I'd like to just weave a little tie together with the palm frond. Like,
Yeah, every single time we pass a tree, I give you a new palm frond to
okay,
make me
and
something with it.
yeah.
And
To
I
keep
will
me
just
rooted.
like I'm just gonna hold your arm and like like when someone's upset, you kind of just do one of these and just like quietly sing you a song. Just
I mean, there's
I'm
probably like
just-
sap on the underside of the bark. I'm just gonna like tuck the frond there, and then eventually you'll have like a layer of fronds on top of
solely
it.
to get myself back on track for what the fuck has just happened.
Yeah, so that's
the past
happening,
3
and then
minutes.
my plan is to
I-
follow Sarah. But
I know
I just
that's
needed
your
to make sure
intent.
my
Did you-
friend was taken care of
Yeah,
first,
I know,
because
I know.
because
I am
they.
gonna roll a d6 to see if she gives a shit.
Okay,
about
I'm
you
really hoping
following
she
her.
doesn't. Really hoping that she doesn't.
1 to 3, she doesn't care. 4 to 6,
listen, she's already told us she doesn't care. It should really be 1 to 4. She doesn't care.
just for that, just for that. 3 to 6, she cares.
Oh.
She just starts like heading off into more of the local city and town.
Yeah, but so she does not in fact care.
As far as you're aware, not yet.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
we
so
still on the island?
I'm gonna do my best to follow
We're
her
on the
until
island,
such
bud.
a
Okay.
time as she does something impossible, like I don't know, wades into the ocean or whatever. Then I mean, I can swim, but like we'll see.
I mean, you have to breathe. You don't
Yeah,
know if she does.
doesn't necessarily, maybe
Yeah.
not.
And
But
can you-
thinking,
can you remind me? She's the size of a human, right? Like she's not
Yeah.
giant. Like,
like
a,
She's not
6 feet.
massive. She just
yeah.
the things that she creates are infinitely
massive,
bigger than
yes.
she is.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was
Like the raven
thinking
she
of this the
summoned
right
is
way.
not a
Yeah.
normal size raven, to be clear.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is
Right.
a giant. We're talking Horizon Zero Dawn size like
Yes.
creatures
Perfect.
of like
Okay.
mechanical flying raven thing and a fucking full-sized elephant.
That's exactly what I was imagining, but I wanted to be sure.
It's good to ask so that you're
Yes.
not wondering, man, like Adestia, you really just took out a tiny ass like raven. Just
Wow,
going
you're
by.
so cool. Congratulations on shooting a bird.
I mean, I feel like it being smaller at that distance
Would be more impressive.
is impressive in a different way.
What we did not realize when making this series is that Adestia would actually be the origin point of skeet shooting
Yes.
in Hamilton.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the Olympic Games is coming next year. It only has one sport. Like,
Oh,
Specifically, raven shooting.
yeah.
For the record, I have not moved.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
gathered as much.
I'm gonna
Um,
keep going.
Has the raven gotten up at all? Has it managed to find its feet?
The raven?
Yeah.
Yeah, it already started to get up and try and keep
Oh,
flying.
yeah.
It's fucking hurt.
Does it
And
look
this
like
will-
how can I assess how much more it would take to finish this thing off?
Uh,
I gotta commit, man.
for- because of how well you did last time, I already put that basically as an advance towards destroy. You would need to do that 4 more times.
I'm not in good enough shape for that.
Speaking solely from a mechanical standpoint. From a narrative standpoint, whether or not this thing is going to stick around long enough for you to keep firing at it is a different matter.
Yeah.
But
it's
from a
different matter.
mechanical standpoint, I'm treating that already as you have 1 advance towards.
Oh, I mean, I was
specifically.
assuming that like she'd just get on the elk and chase it.
I mean, you could.
Not good.
It's true. But that
I'm
also
not in
means
shape.
this thing is going to retaliate at some point.
Yeah, I'm not in shape for that.
You're like, can I just kill it without a fight? Can we do that? And it's just like, no.
I had to ask.
No, it's
I gotta
worth it.
check.
Look, it is always worth it to ask, however unlikely the scenario, what could come of this. I'm not kidding when I say, should you as a group choose to go and engage with that thing at a later point in time, it already has specifically 1 advance towards the goal of destroy.
All right. I don't. She doesn't want to follow this group. She's not. She's not thrilled about this whole. Sarah's friends are still off doing this, considering we've spent this entire time trying to prevent them from doing this. So she's not super interested in going with Sarah at this point. But she does not have the means to. She's a little bold, but she's not stupid. You know? So I think Odysseus is just gonna hop off Ransor and start making camp. Right here is what she's gonna do. Not like a whole big one, but like, a little like small in case she needs to break this down later. Make some in D&D terms, like a short rest camp.
Yeah. No.
Mhm.
Makes sense. I mean, for the 2 of you, well, is it 3 of you who are following her?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I'm definitely
Where's with
lagging
us?
behind because the
Yeah,
farther
No,
that we're
I mean,
getting away from the
Azura is
volcano,
helping
it's like
you.
yeah, I've got like you like supported in whatever way I can, even if it's just like hooking our arms together so that you are continuing to walk the same direction as we are.
every step that we take away from the volcano, I am pulling back because I
Like,
can't
2
leave that
steps
area.
forward, 1 step back kind of
Exactly.
situation.
I'm like, no, I have to go back. I have to go back. I like my blur does not allow me to leave.
I think I am I'm cool with like being like, nope, we gotta go this way. It's like when you're walking a dog and they're like, no, I'm done. And it's like, no, we literally have a mile to walk till we get home. We have to keep going. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like.
Incredible. After probably 10 steps, I will wrap my whole body around a tree, feet and arms like this, and you will have to pry me from the tree.
Absolutely.
Great.
I mean, Azura has beef with trees, so you can do that, right?
I
Like,
hate trees. I'm just gonna punch the tree like you would in like when you're playing a survival game and you haven't
Like
made weapons
Minecraft?
yet. Yeah, and you just like punch it.
So 2 things.
Oh man.
2 things. Number 1, I'm
just
gonna
waiting
say
for like the coconut to drop on your head, like from this punching. Like,
I was just waiting.
you just look up and you see for some reason there is a bar of hearts for Azura, and when the coconut falls, one of the hearts goes black. It goes dark.
Oh my goodness.
So 2 things. Number 1, there are people who live on the island who are just looking at the pair of you dealing with stuff, and one of you just punching a tree randomly, very oddly. Kelladrinith, I think because you are probably able to more easily keep an eye of Sarah, are you sticking like right next to her, or
I'm following at such a distance that it doesn't seem like creepy stalker territory. Like, there's like a good, there's like a good kind of 6 feet between me and Sarah, but enough for me to see where she's going. Sorry.
No, I just
you-
remembered I had an ability that might be helpful.
you do see that there is a moment where Sarah just seems to walk into an inn
Okay.
as though it is the most normal thing for her to do. She seems to, if you're watching from a distance,
I mean, I also would want a meal after that. I can't blame her.
she seems to get a room, and then when she leaves the inn, she goes down a few streets, and she seems to purchase a few garlands of local flowers.
Okay.
And they seem to be, I would say, you recognize from the vision that you had a little while back, they look like they're probably an offshoot or another variety of some of the flowers that likely Celis had in her hair when she was on the battlefield. And she just seems to go back to the room, go back to the inn, and then go to the room, and there's nothing else of note that happens. She just seems to have sent the things off, and she just seems to be processing.
Yeah.
Like, again, it is this weird level of like, in some senses it's clear that she is not human, and in other senses she is just mimicking what seems to be like a ritual of grief or mourning. That's what you discover in starting to follow her. You can follow her to her room if you want.
No, that's creepy. If it seems, listen, I'm just gonna let her do her own thing. Although I think I will like go in the inn and order some food, like just in case she comes down from the room. So, Angela, what's for dinner? I know you're always here waiting every session. You're always waiting for us to
God
ask,
damn
and
it.
I want to know what's for
All
dinner.
right, let's see.
Actually, the long con. Right
the
here.
long con
That's
is just
why-
me adding to the list.
Yeah, go on.
So
Hit me with it.
this one, this is a sort of rice vermicelli kind of noodle dish that is being served at the inn. There are shredded
Yeah.
chicken, shrimp, carrots, cabbage, and the seasonings include things like soy sauce, oyster sauce, and fish sauce.
How
It
dare
is-
you? I'm getting it.
You're welcome. And then there is a dude just sort of in the back who is probably the cook for the inn, who looks like the most massive man who should not be in this building. Like, he looks like he's a good 6'7". Like, he is a big beefy man, and he just sort of like looking down at you, because you're only like, what was it, like 5 foot something, like 5'4", was it? I can't remember you.
I think it was like 5'2" or something. It's not
Yeah,
very
you were
tall.
very short.
Yeah.
So like a good 1.5 feet taller than you, just sort of looks down. Just sort of points over, and you see that on a chopping block nearby what appears to be extremely crispy pork belly that he has been chopping
Oh, hell yeah.
into segments. And like there's a meat cleaver just stuck into the wood, and he's just sort of like, sort of nods at you.
Thanks.
For reference, if anyone has ever watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, his body size is it's not Armstrong, it's the dude who he does muscle flexing with. It's the husband
The husband of Izumi?
the husband of the
Yeah.
teacher. Yeah. the
Yes.
husband. Yes, he's got that body. He's got big, like muscular, but also dad bod kind of vibes to him.
Yeah. Does he like do a flex and his little sparkles that are like, no, not quite.
No, it's more like just kind of casually when he moves, he is just a wall of muscle and a big belly, and he is just a man of very few words. And he just sort of goes, and you just hear thunk, 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 and he just sort of brings you a small plate filled with crispy pork belly and the bowl of noodles.
Sweet,
And, like,
thank you.
He like stands there with like sort of like an expression, kind of waiting
Well,
for you to
I'm
try
good.
it.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
he's
I'm
waiting
going
for
to,
the
I'm
opinion.
going to start eating it, and I'm going to make a big show of enjoying it because clearly, he's worked so hard on this dish. Like, I'm going to make a big show of enjoying it because it's really fucking tasty.
Yeah, he looms over you, and the moment he sees you enjoying it, he just goes,
I
I'll
think
give
it's
him-
at that moment
yeah.
that that Azura is like dragging Wea into the place. I'm holding onto the door frame like, no, I need to go back.
Like
Please.
this, like
No,
clean here.
no,
please,
no.
I'll give you a piece of candy.
No.
Yeah,
The
had to consider it there.
consideration.
And then
Sort
I
of-
see and I smell the pork belly, and I was like, "Hey, can you give me that?"
I will give you as much of that as you want. As you please come sit down.
I want that and the noodles.
The
Okay.
the
Yeah, come
massive
over.
fellow,
I'll gesture to you to be like, come over here. Like, yeah, or there's spaces in this table.
the massive fellow is looking at you, Caladrineth, while this is happening, and just sort of like it like points to the other two coming in, and just sort of like, hmm.
And I'll point again at the chopping board with the cleaver sticking out, and I'm just in the sense of I just brought you two more customers. You're good, like kind of way.
Again, there's no real words. It's just kind of gestures. Of
Yeah, and I'm just
things.
like, like
And and when it looks like you're about to like run out of crispy pork belly, you just hear him like futzing around in the kitchen, and then he brings out another rack of just freshly made like crispy pork belly.
fuck yeah. Okay, great.
So 3 of your party is able to enjoy a very nice meal.
Yeah,
1 of your party is left out.
yeah. I mean, I would say left out. Dusty could join at any time if she wants, but I think this is willing.
Doesn't
So
know where you're at.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a
Listen.
not us problem.
I mean,
Listen,
so honest.
listen.
Okay, so to be
I
fair,
also rolled 2 ones. We can consider this part of my.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
and
go
so
with that.
honestly, I mean, like at some point, if it gets like super late, like I do have my messaging thing. I can send a message. So
Be
you
like,
know,
hey, buddy.
yeah.
Is
Oh, I mean,
unconcerned.
I'm not gonna say, hey, buddy. I'm just gonna say, hey, this is where we are, with no necessary like action or invitation. I'm just like, I'm informing you of where we are. Cool. Have a good night, kind of thing. Yeah.
Could you, depending on where you all choose to stay, because you could stay at the same inn that Sarah's
I mean, I
at.
think that's a good idea. I want to keep an eye on her, like, because I think maybe once she's had a chance to do some questionably robot, questionably human things, she might be more amenable to talking again in the morning. Because now I have a better understanding of the situation, and so I have some ideas, and also because I want to talk with the party about stuff. So,
Yeah, I think with that being the case, that is where we are going to cut to a break, as this very all of these interesting developments and the decision by one of your party to shoot a fucking raven out of the sky, which was both foolish and one of the coolest things ever, because 9 successes is absurd. And I love Gena. I love Gena's success happening at these moments. This is my favorite thing. With that, we're going to go to break. We'll see everybody in about 10 minutes. So we'll see you real soon, folks.
okay.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Fragments of Loss, our Rangers of a Broken World series happening here on Sword and Key. You join us, hopefully, since the beginning of this session, but if not, welcome to the second half of this session for episode 7, Unearthing Memories. So, our group has met with the essentially source of all the problems they have been seeing happening across Hamilton right now. A construct slash automaton by the name of Sarah, who gave the designation of Scatter Assisted Revenant Attack Hub, which I believe at least 1 or 2 people in the group have indicated they do not approve of this, of these words being put together in that order. They have witnessed that the automaton-like beings that have emerged and caused havoc in the world actually are sourced directly from Sarah's own ethereal energy, almost like a sort of emotional psychic construct made real and material. 3 of our group has chosen to follow her back to a tavern where she appears to be going about getting garlands of flowers and such, and almost like a mourning ritual being done for unclear who, though not hard to guess. And I believe the group has just sent for Adestia to come and join them. So if
No, I did not.
I was
I said
informed.
it was yeah, Adestia was informed of our location. Adestia can come and join if she would like. But you know,
yes, I will ask the important question that I'm sure everyone is curious about. Are you all interested in taking a rest?
Yes.
Eh.
yes, but I would like to get up quite early because I know what room that she's staying in and I don't want her to like leave before we can follow or talk to her.
Okay.
And I don't know if like she needs sleep or anything. And I think it's a bit invasive to ask to be honest, so I'm just gonna try and, you know, keep an eye on it.
Can't ask someone if they sleep, and you also can't ask someone if they're human. They're very
The
rude
rules.
questions,
Yeah, I mean
apparently.
I just think it is rude, and so, you know, no matter how curious I am, there's just some things that you just don't ask people.
But so, you do awaken. She is there in the morning.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I wanted to kind of chat with the party first before we go to bed. Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
assuming that Weya is content to sit and eat food in the tavern and not like try to go back to the trees.
I will say I'm eating
The
and I'm
food is
getting
great.
food filling me up. These rice noodles, holy shit. But like I'm falling asleep
Oh,
as I'm
okay.
eating because I still have like seven
Seven
scattered.
scatter.
So
Mm.
I'm like, and I have three blur. So my body is just kind of giving out. So I can be part of the conversation. It's just I'm gonna be very eepy.
Yeah, I mean, I have actually I don't even want to look. Yeah, oh my God, I have like 9 scatter and 2 blur, so you know, we're kind of same vibe, I guess. It's a mood. But also like okay, so I think I have an idea. It's not a plan, it's an idea.
Okay. I'm ready to
Yes.
listen.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if we can do something for, you know, the 70,000 or so souls to maybe there's a way to lay them to rest.
I've been wondering that since we saw them on the turtle on the beach.
Right.
I don't know how to, but I'm willing to do whatever we can to try.
Because we really it is actually not sustainable to gradually release 70,000 upset, injured, dead people to form
No.
constructs and, you know, that's
It feels like a
yeah.
lot of pressure also to carry that burden.
Yes. I'm wondering if there's a way to do that. I don't really know a lot about like death rituals or anything though.
Do you think that we would have to go to like Reinhold for that?
Um,
Did most of them die there? I feel like
I feel
Wea
like
did not do
yes.
history. I
Yeah,
have no
so
idea.
yeah, they do, but Rhyme honestly, the vibes are really rancid in Rhymehold. I really don't think you'd like it. I grew up there. It's okay. It's more like, you know, if someone else like told me that the vibes are rancid in Rhymehold, I'd be mad about it, but like because I live there, it's okay for me to say that, you know?
Mm,
I think
understandable.
I think like my
But you
thought
know what?
is
You might be
like,
onto something if we go
yeah, I
back to the
think,
site where they died.
and then have Sarah be there as well. I mean, do you remember? I say this very quietly. Do you remember in that dream, like where were you in Rhyme or were
Yeah,
you somewhere? Okay,
I was in Rhymehold.
so
Well, just
then,
outside of it, there was a big wall.
so then maybe that's where we go. Maybe
Yeah.
that's kind of the next move.
We can like sage the area or cleanse it spiritually, however we would do that.
Hmm. Or is there?
See if my Deolith would know anything.
Yeah, maybe there's certain death rituals for your deities specifically that could tie in with all of the 70,000 people.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could show you around. You'll want to pack food though. The food is different.
I snap my fingers and bring the person back over. Do you do traveling?
Do you do catering on the road?
Oh,
Oh, fair enough. It's kind of
can
rough. Yeah.
can I have 7 helpings in to-go boxes, please. I'm from the mainland, okay? Okay, Sully, it's okay, Sully. It's me, your cousin. Not really cousin, but you know what I'm saying.
Play cousins. Like what?
And I can grab 7 helpings and bring it on. I can tell everybody about you. I got 7 siblings back in the mainland. I'll tell them all about you, and I'll pay some people to get boats over here, and then you get more customers.
Like pulls out a small like thing out of what appears to be like a pocket in his apron, and you just see him hold out a picture, and there's like 15 siblings on there.
You know what's up. You have big siblings like me. Maybe they're not as big as you, but you know what I'm saying.
Not made of money.
Ooh,
You don't go anywhere. I bring them to you so they pay you money. And then I pay you money right now so that I can get 7 helpings of this crispy pork belly and bring on my chip. You do nothing but make food.
You from the island. You not know way to be nice to island people.
Oh, we
Just sort of walks back into the kitchen.
Damn.
Sally.
Is that
I
a
think
thing
that-
here?
Huh? The
Like
like
the island versus mainland divide?
yeah, there is. It's
Oh.
there's very limited resources around. Sorry, there are very limited resources around here. And we tend to hoard stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
Hello.
It's the equivalent of you took someone from the north to go to talk to you about the south. Kind
Yeah.
of divide happening
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet tea is just tea that's just sweet, right? And then every southerner in the chat is just angry. Every southerner in the chat just
I just
looked at me
choked on
like
my
they're
own spit on that one. I was like, no.
Absolutely
I am from the
nuts.
West Coast, and even I know that's not a thing. You don't say that. You don't
I'm
say that to a
dying.
southerner.
How dare you?
It's like respectfully, you bitch.
Yeah.
Please take 3 points of what the fuck damage.
How many what the fuck damage do I have left? I've taken 5.
Not the way you're going at, not very much, buddy.
I need to take a rest.
Yeah.
So carrying on for your conversation.
Yeah. But we'll need Sarah to come with us to Rimehold, and that might be a problem. Come with us to Rimehold with all the 70,000 or so souls intact and not released along the very long and likely perilous journey. Rimehold is quite far from here.
Yeah, but that means we have to get that raven then back.
Yeah.
So we have to go. Is it Dusty coming?
She didn't say.
Okay. Because shooting a giant raven from the sky makes me think that that's where the raven was going.
Oh, I thought the elephant was going to Rimehold.
The elephant is going to Rimehold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the raven's going
The
to
raven was
Adestia's
going somewhere
place.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why Adestia was
Adestia has a sense of where it's going.
Yes.
That's why she's not happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, among the reasons, probably not happy about it.
Yeah. So maybe send one more message and say we're talking about going to take care of the raven.
Take care of the okay. Take care
Just
of
so
the
that we have
raven.
all of the souls in one place.
Oh, I mean, if it's still alive, I don't know.
It seemed pretty intact. on
When
this
we
one
left,
line. I haven't heard any lightning cracks since then. I mean, I have been screaming the whole way down the mountain, so I am in no way able to speak about this, but I need to go back to that volcano.
yeah.
Just-
Well, what I'm thinking is go to sleep, then possibly deal with whatever it is we need to deal with in the morning, and then knock on Sarah's door and suggest that perchance she might. Oh, I don't want to. We're gonna have to word this very, very delicately, but suggest that perchance she might get closer to finding Celis in the direction of Rimehold. And then we go together, maybe. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
tactics, it's a skill.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also not incorrect because there's I don't know, there's a lot of bad vibes in Rimehold, but also
It's
Celis was
general
definitely
real bad
there.
vibes.
Yeah.
Like Rimehold is effectively Amilta's version of how everyone in the U.S. talks about New Jersey.
I'm sorry, I'm a European. I don't
I
understand that reference.
I know that's
Yeah.
right. New Jersey is not apparently in a lot of popular media not looked at very fondly.
Oh, I
At
thought it
least
was fine.
if I am
I
to
don't know.
believe Futurama of
Oh,
all things.
okay.
But so the key thing is it's not good vibes is what most people associate with Rimehold. Even the people from Rimehold, as you said,
Yes.
are
Yes.
like, look, our city sucks, but we're proud of the fact that it sucks in a way that works for us.
Yeah, they're proud of the fact that they managed to like live in a city despite how much it sucks, but like they wouldn't move or anything. It's like, nah, we just live here and deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Which is why
much.
I'm kind of less concerned about the elephant because like that kind of shit just happens. There's just horrors everywhere. Like, so we'll see.
Hmm.
Maybe the consequence of my actions will get there and the elephant has trampled half of it, and I'm like, well, damn, will fool me for not trying to do anything about this. But we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. That's my current thinking. I
Okay. Yeah.
Do either of you have any ideas? I'm honestly, I say that Keldronith says this in like in a way that says, "Oh, please, gods, like someone have a better idea than this." Like,
Ideas, ideas, ideas. Yeah, I mean, Rimehold kind of seems to be the center of everything right now. The fact that the 70,000 souls are originated from there, I've had that dream, where you were in Rimehold and saw that person. So
like there's nice places amidst the bad vibes. I can show you around my place. I mean, you've shown us where you
yeah,
live. I can show you where I live. It's
yeah, yeah. And we don't have to stay long. We could stay long. We don't have to stay long. Like, we're not really going for leisure. I feel like we've also not come here for leisure in the same way. So it is what it is. I feel like we should talk to Adestia about
yeah,
what's going on,
yeah,
and what it is for her and that Raven.
yeah. I can send her a message in the morning
So
unless you want to do that like now.
I'm down for whatever. I mean, is Adestia awake?
We
What
don't
time
know.
is it?
Probably late. We spent all day in the volcano, like,
That's true.
right?
Yeah. Maybe we should just wait till morning.
Yeah, it was like sunset when
when
Sarah walked out of the
arrived,
water. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just message in the morning. You already told Adessia where we are, so
Yep.
it's halfway there.
So sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
The entire group is able to rest. You are clear to scatter and blur.
Oh
Yay!
my
I needed that.
gosh.
Thank fuck.
Oh,
My dreams
The
are just
consequences
filled.
of my actions.
I only
Let me
dream
just-
of the volcano.
Ah,
That's
yes,
all
the
I dream of.
sweet, sweet unchecking of boxes. Ah ha ha ha.
Good question.
Yeah,
Dwayne and I have our spell notes back.
yeah. It's not a
Sick.
permanent thing. You just feel disconnected for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very unsettling thing.
I just wasn't sure how long that was going to be.
Yeah, that's why the bark was around me, because I was
Yeah, so like
scared.
you wake up like covered in bark and fronds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mirm's just like, yeah, I know.
Yep.
I made my decision. I'm proud of this decision.
You made your bed,
This
you
is
lie
the
in
pro-
it, literally.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I woke up and I'm like, well, okay. And then before like talking to any of you, I just find like the local kids and I give them a bunch of the stuff that was made. because kids love that shit on the island. They're just like, oh yeah, free, and it's a hat. You know, it's a good time.
One of them starts immediately trying to hit the other with a bunch of fronds in the face, and the other one just starts
Sounds about
running
right.
away.
Yeah, and I'm just like, not your parent. I'm not your parent. I'm gonna go inside.
So, like, when we wake up, is the door to Sarah's hotel room still closed?
It's closed.
Okay. Now this is a bit creepy. What if I go up to the door and like kind of try to eavesdrop on see if I can hear her moving around in there?
When you do, the door opens.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you liking this inn? We also thought it was a nice place to stay.
Quite nice.
That's good.
The man downstairs is a very kind fellow.
He is. He cooks great food.
He does. He was very accommodating of my request to take care of flowers that I purchased.
Mhm. And in my brain, like this just kind of registers as she remarked on the food, so maybe she did have some. I don't know. Yeah.
You didn't watch her eat, which would
No,
have
I
been the
didn't.
creepiest thing you
Yes.
could
No,
have
no, that would
done.
be so creepy. I'm really trying to not be creepy here, but
Oh,
also
that would
like,
be so funny though.
yeah.
She's just in the corner. She's just having soup.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mm. Will
where
you be staying in the area?
I will be heading northward soon.
Is Northwood where we're going? Above table?
Northward would be Rimehold direction.
Okay, great. Well, that's good. You're not by any chance heading to Rimehold, are you?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's where we're heading. So,
I'll need to check in with one of my friends to see that he is taking care of himself.
right. Yeah, I mean, I live there, so okay. That's great. Maybe we'll see each other in Rimehold.
Interesting. Sort of looking at you with like rapt curiosity now. There's a very, it's intended to just be like sort of a curious look, but because of the kind of off human element to her face, it's more like looking at you like a science experiment.
I will match your energy and also tilt my head, but in the other direction. And like, you know,
She tilts to the left, you tilt to the right.
yeah.
You're quite odd.
Likewise.
I was told this often by Celis.
Affectionately, I'm sure.
I believe so. She was quite kind to me. She was one of the first to show me kindness.
That's good.
It is. I'm hoping that I can find her soon.
I hope so too.
She just sort of carries down.
Okay, well that's
downstairs.
good. I mean, well, yeah, okay, great. Well, that was easier than needed to be. Okay.
Are you waiting around for your party, or are you just?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait for the party to get up. I mean, I'll wait downstairs with breakfast, and I'm not gonna leave until they get up, but just there's food, so
There was food. Yes. Let's go with.
What's
Here,
for
looking
breakfast?
at my list again. There is a mix of two different things. One, they appear to be little smashed down balls of what they're almost like if you had took kind of like a donut hole and then you smashed it down to be flatter, like closer to like a pancake. They're panakeke. And the other bit you are seeing is it's almost like sweet cocoa rice. There's a mix of white rice, sugar, coconut cream, water, and a sort of raw cocoa that's been mixed
Yes!
into it.
Coco Risa.
Yeah, cocoa rice.
Sully.
Watching Mirm just react with so much happiness in
I
real
was like
time is my
waiting.
favorite
You
reason.
said rice, and I was like, it's gonna be Coco Rice. It has to be Coco Rice. It
Yeah.
has to be Coco
Yeah,
Rice.
no, from what I looked up,
So
it's a evening snack or breakfast. So I'm just like,
yeah,
yeah, this works.
yeah,
This
it's
seems
very
right.
good. Very, very good.
So yeah, that is like kind of like sweet pancakes and like a sweet kind of like cocoa rice dish.
Okay,
You do see Sarah in the corner by herself. She does appear to be eating some of it.
great.
She does
Good to know.
she does a it's very strange because it almost seems like she doesn't know how to react, but she seems to at least mimic the reactions of someone very happy with food whenever the rather tall and imposing man comes by. He's sort of like, mm.
Does she appear to
She's like,
swallow it?
she does.
Okay.
It's a go.
You know what? That's enough. Okay, that's enough of an answer for me. Great. She performs the act of eating.
I mean, to be fair, food food broken down to its ethereal energy could work as a sort of fuel source if you
It
want
could.
a if you want a non if you want a technical non-gross version of looking at it.
Okay, but we don't. I mean, I'm not there, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It's
I
just how
like double would
instant-
not know.
It's just how instant your face went to like, but where does it go, Gina? That's getting to me more than anything
Does it just
else.
vanish into the ether?
I mean,
Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It has to go somewhere.
just and there are 70,000 souls who would like to have at that.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, no. Morning happens if you meet with the party.
Yep.
Is it fair to say Adestia eventually comes to this place?
Oh, she is not going in the inn. She will be maybe hanging
Outside.
out outside, maybe at some other location that is easy to keep an eye on the main street that if they pass by she would see.
The rest of the party is that you're able to awaken and go downstairs whenever you
Okay.
choose.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be sitting here eating bowls of this cocoa rice. So
I definitely I go outside first to take care of those kids. I think I might see a Dusty out there though, because
I'm doing
those
like
kids
the I'm doing like the equivalent of like sitting at a cafe across the street. You all know that vibe.
yeah, you
yeah.
see me look at those kids, hit each other with the palm fronds, and then just like walk away. Just not saying a fucking word. Those are not my kids. I
Nope.
don't gotta deal with that.
Not my
Not my
problem.
problem. Exactly. And then I see you and I walk over. And I I have pork belly in my pocket. 'Cause it was so
Overnight?
good. Yes. What are you talking about?
It's just like dried out a little bit, dehydrated, like a
Yeah.
jerky.
It's more things don't go bad so fast. It's wild how long it takes like stuff to go bad fast. I
Oh,
kept
I know.
food in a hot car on the island for like 4 hours, and I was fine eating it the next day after it was refrigerated. Like it's wild.
But this food wasn't the pork belly is just in your pocket though. It's
Yeah.
not refrigerated.
You
Okay, but
literally
like,
slept
it's-
on that.
But like it's not like covered in any way. It's just a big chunk of meat that is in your
Yeah.
pocket, or did you wrap it in like a napkin or something?
I at least wrapped it in a napkin.
Okay,
Like
great.
wax
That's
paper or
that's
something, yeah.
okay. That makes a lot of difference,
It does because otherwise,
Because
Wei
otherwise,
is just
like,
a
just-
beefy ass nerd walking.
Yeah, I mean the way
around
that you said it, I just thought
pork
you just
belly.
produced this like slab of meat
Yeah,
like from your pocket, and I'm like, excuse me, like
Right?
Yeah.
Like
never
shave
mind.
pieces off with a knife. Eat
Yeah,
it like you
even-
do with an apple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, given how scattered Wea was last night, putting the
Possibly.
meat directly
Listen.
in their pocket was not unheard of.
That's
I-
actually
No.
that is fair. I
I'm
agree
so
with that
scattered.
sentiment.
Azora and Amber are with you on this one.
So I sit across from you at the cafe across the street, whatever equivalent that is. And I just pull it out and I just kind of start breaking it apart.
I'm
and
at the
eating it.
cafe. I'm at the combination cafe and lookout spot. I'm at the combination cafe lookout spot and place across the street from the emotionally wrecked automaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
how funny.
I do give the 4-1. I'm like, Sarah's in there.
I think maybe it's best if, I keep my distance.
Yeah.
Good
I
distance so you can
agree.
shoot at her from a distance as a ranged attacker.
That's not what I said.
Keep my distance.
You can extrapolate anything you like, but that's not what I
Anyway,
said.
Anyway, it's fine. I'm not in
And
the
the-
scene. I just think it's funny.
No,
In
I
the
love
video
that.
game version of this series, there's just a prompt with a
Although-
speech bubble in the background with
Yeah.
Calandrina's going, so
Okay,
that you have a better
although-
target.
Although, like, what I will say is that I am able to cast chords with someone who is not in the scene I'm currently in, and I can also like observe the world through friend senses instead of my own if I want to. So I could be there if I wanted to, but
You
I'm
could
not,
be.
I'm not.
It's-
I'm not aware of any shady shit, so I'm eating my cocoa rice. But also, that's just a point.
You can't hear Kildrenith, but the captions show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just background dialoguing, like, you know.
This
Ugh.
whole morning is so good.
Oh, man. Okay. I don't know what I was gonna say anyway. Like, I just wanted to like check in, see how you doing. Alf you some pork belly.
There any plans?
Rhymehold.
Rhymehold.
Because Sarah holds 70,000 souls from Rhymehold.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes sense.
yeah. Maybe we can call the Raven at some point. Seemed you had some beef, so to speak, with it. You didn't like it.
We were there for the whaling Agrippina situation, so
Yes.
it's sorry, I wrote notes and I can't read them now. It's just a bunch of random
Rude.
words. It's just single words.
Yeah.
The Raven is heading towards Myris lives. So
Got it. Do I remember if Seething felt anything bad? Like, I know that I had the conversation to be like, what the fuck do we do? And like, what the fuck do you get from like the feeling from the kaiju? But like, did I get a sense that the kaiju was ever gonna go after Seething?
It's unclear. It's more a matter of, it's confirmed no matter what, however much Sarah doesn't see her friends going back as a destructive thing or as a retaking, at least what she stated. We don't know if that's what she actually feels, but
Yeah.
at least from what she stated, her goal is to bring them back because it serves the purpose of hopefully eventually figuring out where Celis is. But
Okay.
as far as whether it's whether them going there is intended to hurt any of the Daedalus, that's unclear. You
Mhm.
just know that they will be at least by extension hurt by the nature of their territories and the regions that they tend to have a presence
Yeah.
in, having the land be hurt because they are a manifestation of what the land is. That's
Yeah.
kind of that's at least how I sort of interpret the Daedalus. They are a mineral aspect of the regions that they are all in,
Yeah.
and because of that, the land being hurt in any way in those regions is a form of hurting those deities.
Okay.
So to answer your question, it doesn't directly hurt Seafing, but it does hurt Seafing.
Yeah.
Seafing would never necessarily tell you directly or like stop them because it's hurting me. It'd just be
Mhm.
like, would be more the kind of person to mention this kind of hurts and this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Whereas the infiltrator, whereas she,
Whaling
Atasa
Arcanist?
would be
Oh, yeah, Atasa.
Atasa would more directly say like, no, she is
Mm.
making use of her abilities in order to cause harm to others in a displaced fashion. Whereas
Mhm.
Augustine or Tamiris would have their own takes on that. You would have to commune with your respective Daedalus to have a sense of whether or not they have an opinion on any of this.
Yeah.
But that's up
But
to you to decide when that happens.
yeah, and when I communed with them yesterday, it wasn't like a huge threat. From okay, what I remember from the conversation is that like Seafing was like, yeah, like I it's not that I don't have qualms with it, it's just like it's not a huge issue right now.
I recall it was like, I like chaos, but not this kind of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's the correct interpretation of Seafing's words. I
Yeah.
would say that's the most accurate interpretation. Seafing doesn't really care about anything, quote unquote,
Yeah.
but also it very much cares about everything around it.
Yeah.
It's never going to show it. Seafing is not a Daleth you pray, like, you show reverence to and expect like the nicest, most directly communicative deity communication. It's not like a Tossa, where a Tossa would just be like straight up like, nope, not yeah, this is what I hope, this is what I see in you, this is what I think you can do.
Okay.
You're gonna be awesome. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Fight. Win.
Okay.
Triumph. Very, very Edna mode energy, kinda.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except disabled and hotter.
Yeah. I think all I can say to Adestia is, well, I fear, I feel like your deity would contact you if it ever got too bad. I don't know about the rest of the party, but I don't want destruction for the sake of anything. So I already saw 2 of my islands burn, so I'm kind of skewed.
And yeah, that's why it's like a shot.
Yeah. I wish I could have. But alas. A little too gone yesterday, so to say. But
Well, I will be here. I think if I walk in and if, as you say, Sarah's there, I think them walking downstairs and seeing me is not going to be good for anybody. So
yeah. I'll let everybody know then that you are out here. And I leave the pork belly on the table and walk away.
Just a stack of like day old pork belly.
Yeah. You can give it to Red Sword. I don't know what Elky.
I will. I'm not going to be eating this because I don't make a habit of eating things pulled out of other people's pockets. I will scoop it into my bag or something.
Ransor just has a look of utter
Are you-
betrayal on his face.
Are you also going to wrap it in a napkin before you scoop it into your bag?
I feel like I have like a tin box or something that I keep food scraps in for like animals.
You know what? Sure. Yes. Just because I just want this to keep being a bit that just this pork belly follows you on until you figure out what to do with it.
Listen, it's more because like my skill in fashion dictates that actually if you just put it into your pocket, your clothes are gonna get greasy and that shit is really
Yes.
hard to wash out.
Yes.
I didn't want it to get
yes.
oily. That's why I put it in the napkin. I don't want oil
Sisterhood of the
stains.
traveling pork belly.
I
Yeah.
literally have. I'm literally looking up what do elk even eat.
I think elks are herbivores. Just like moose.
Yeah.
Anyways, carrying
Anyway.
on from this back to inside the inn. Azura, I assume you are up at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure I've, taken my time, gone downstairs, been like, what's up? How's it going? That's it. I'm not really a morning person, so just kind of, like, be like, hi, I exist and you exist. I've
Good morning.
acknowledged that.
Yeah.
That's then I start to eat.
Hell yeah! Check out this choco rice, it's so good.
It is. Honestly, most of the descriptions of the food that I have given to all of you sound very delicious.
Oh,
Yes.
good. It's so good. I haven't tried it with like hot cocoa mix yet, but I could definitely want to try it at some point so that all of you could try it and not need like coco samua, but you can move
But
forward.
would it feel the same without coco samhor?
No, because coco samua is so bitter and it's so chocolatey and it's so incredible. Like I just have this like uh it's shaped like a cup, the cup that it's in. So when you pull it out, it just looks like the cup. So it's just not the same. But coco samua is very good. So can't find it anywhere.
The morning continues, folks, by the way.
Yes.
Unless you have further conversation you'd like to have, or if you want to converse with Sarah, she is just there.
No, I mean, I've gotten confirmation that she's going to Rhinehold. I mean, I feel like I should give her a heads up about the 70,000 souls thing. You know,
Sarah?
yeah. I mean, like that maybe going to Rhinehold might help put them to rest, but also I'm not really prepared for her to get angry in this tavern. I mean, she's going in our direction anyway, so
So you
yeah.
just sort of eat from across the
Yeah, I
across
mean,
the inn
yeah,
from each other.
across the inn from each other. Like, yeah, like we saw you like from across the inn. We are checking your vibe. Yeah.
We saw you from across the inn. We're
Yeah.
not sure about your vibe.
I'm not sure about
though.
your vibe. Yeah.
Still working that out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I would just be like, should we tell her about our plan for the 70,000 souls or nah? Because she's going to Rhinehold anyway, like to Azura, as we're eating breakfast. Because like I don't want to upset her.
I feel like we need to get the vibe, right? Like, what if she really loves having all these souls?
I mean, she wants her friends to go home, but like I'm just wondering if there's more than one way home, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if she'd be amiable for us asking. I mean, I'd be willing to try it and be like, "Hey, listen, you mentioned that like, you're trying to get your friends home. Do all of them need to go? All of them need to go home because we're happy to help. We just want them to do it in a way that's positive for the people that are already there."
Yeah. I just feel like maybe laying them to rest is a way that they go home. So, yeah.
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 I think we could bring it up to her in a way that's not like, we're gonna liberate you of everything that
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? You can maybe you should take a turn talking to her.
Oh,
You at
oh.
least have common, the guilt thing. I think maybe she trusts you. You're
You're
very
both guilty.
forthcoming.
It's there.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm just gonna like in so many diplomatic terms, I'm just gonna be like, well, Azura, I feel like it might be easier for you to establish a baseline level of there's a
Guilt.
there's a authenticity to the way that you spoke to her yesterday, you know?
Okay, yeah. I'm in it to
I'm
win
gonna
it.
I'm going to call it authenticity.
We
I'm gonna go
have the
with that.
same haircut. I'll go off of that one.
I think the word you're looking for here is sincerity,
Yes.
as
You know what?
opposed
No,
to
no, no.
as opposed to you both feel guilty about to the same degree about
No,
things.
Keltrinith had it right the first time. The degree of guilt that we both feel
Yes.
about
I
the
just,
way the world
like
works.
as Azura's words, not mine. Like it's yeah.
I've done 70,000 things in my life and I regret every single one of them.
Whereas I could count on one hand the things that I
Exactly.
regret because because I
Exactly.
don't remember most of the shit that I did. Like
I mean, I didn't consider if this cocoa in the cocoa rice was ethically sourced, so I feel guilty about that even. So,
And I just kind of like will look past Azura's shoulder to like the big bag of coca beans, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Like,
70,001.
yeah,
I have a diary like a death note, but it's like my guilt.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. But they don't die, they just keep manifesting in yourself until they
Today-
stay alive.
Today I ate some cocoa without wondering where it was sourced. Guilt.
Yeah.
Stepped on an ant today. Guilt.
Wait, how are you guilty for stepping on a nail?
An ant.
Ants.
An
Oh, I
ant.
heard nail
Oh.
for some reason. I don't know why. I was
you
gonna
know,
be
I
like,
heard
why
nail
would you?
too. You're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine. I heard
Okay.
it too.
I want to know that I'm very glad that I
Sounds
put
like a
this
tetanus
bra
risk.
on the most open setting because I am laughing so hard that I feel like it's gonna snap.
Um, so I will present myself to Sarah and say, hello, Sarah. I have my breakfast. I was wondering if I may sit with you.
You're muted.
I'm not muted. I'm just talking quietly, apparently.
The mic isn't picking it up.
God
Like,
Yeah.
damn it! This fucking mic. I hate you. I hate you, Zoom. Why must you always ruin my audio? But no, you just hear her say, I believe you are the guilty one from yesterday, correct?
Yes, I suppose that's how
Yeah.
you may refer to me.
yeah, Wei and I just sitting at this table, like watching this go down. Like,
Um, uh, I have some questions regarding the conversation we had yesterday. If you don't mind, I would like to ask them of you.
By all means.
Yesterday, you spoke of these uh, your friends that you can manifest from yourself, and it seems like there's an awful lot of these friends that you surround yourself with. And I was wondering, are every single one of these friends of yours looking to go home?
In a manner of speaking, they're not all perfectly distinct entities, but from my understanding of how I was designed and the directives and protocols that I was given, my abilities include what I believe you Rangers call scatter, the experience of feeling separated from yourselves.
Yes.
I am capable of channeling said energy to hold on to their consciousness. I have lived long enough to see all of my friends in the war. At least, I was inclined to believe that they were my friends. They looked upon me favorably, and I've been led to believe that most friendship is founded upon seeing one another in a positive light. But when all of them died, I held on to a fragment of their consciousness, so in a way none of them are dead, but all of them are with me. I am simply upholding their last interests, their last impulses and feelings.
But do you think that that's what they would want?
That is what they are telling me they want from their feelings.
But don't you think that it must feel bad to be fragmented in such a way that you're not a whole self? Don't you think?
Do you think of it so negatively when you yourself feel fragmented from your own body, from the magic you employ?
Yes and no, I suppose. I mean, it feels good to use that power, but the feeling of being scattered is not great.
What reason do I have to care for my own interests, perspectives, reality when I have the reality of those around me?
But why not make your own experience? Why relive someone else's?
That was what I was designed to do. To hold on to all of them.
Hmm. Zura will kind of just sit and think for a little bit. It's like, how do you tell someone? It's like, no, your purpose is wrong. And like, it's not great to like do this thing that you're doing, but also is like morally struggling with, no, you're fragmenting someone, and that's also not okay. Like, have you considered, Sarah, seeing what happens if you were to release some of your friends so that they can be whole again.
I have never entertained such a thought. It goes against what I was programmed to do, what the directives and protocols I was told to follow.
Who do we know who Sarah's creator is?
You have no fucking
No
idea. You
idea.
assume somebody who wanted a literal war machine
Yeah. But what
for
if,
the last war.
Sarah, what if the person who had your design in mind had bad intentions? Do you believe that
Why would Celis or anyone who Celis supported have bad intentions? Are you asking me to think
sometimes,
poorly of Celis?
no, not at all, but sometimes intent and the product of what that intent is does not equal the same energy. For example, they could have had good intentions, but the outcome was negative. We don't know that the people, the friends that you're carrying with you aren't having negative consequences in the other parts of them because you're holding on to them.
If I'm to follow your logic through in a certain sense, then would that also suggest that if I am the consequence of the intent of my creators, that I am also a mistake? Or that I've also erred?
I don't think mistake is the right word. I'm sure.
Is it an incorrect word or an unkind word? From having interacted with your party yesterday, you do not seem shy towards using unkind words or actions.
I don't think it's quite correct because I think that you are working as intended. But I think the consequences of the way that you work may not have been exactly known. And I wonder if you would be amiable to experimentation and seeing further maybe what happens if we do release some of these people. And I understand that it is a huge unknown, and it could also have negative consequences, but what if it doesn't?
Interesting. I had only hoped to do, given the nature of how I exist, I do not age. And because of that, I hope to slowly but surely release my friends who've been with me. Perhaps I should expedite the process of releasing them.
I know that my team, and I'll point to the table behind me. Like, yeah, I know that they would be happy.
Adestia looking in from the window.
Like,
Oh no.
binoculars.
I'm still doing my French cafe.
I know that they would be happy to assist. We, despite thinking that maybe humans aren't meant to be kind, I feel like these people with me have shown themselves to be the exception.
Would you include your ally who shot my friend out of the sky?
She's complicated. I think that is another example of intentions over reduced produced results.
You are a very interesting mess of emotions and anxieties.
Absolutely, I've
Roasted.
heard that before.
I will consider this. Perhaps I have gone about things far too slowly, and perhaps now might be the time to bring the full weight of what has happened to bear.
Please let us know what we can do to help. Not if we can help, but what we can do to help.
I will consider it. I will need to think. I will need to take some time to think and consider the forms that Celis would have wanted for her friends.
I think that's very endearing to consider what Celis would want.
It is truly the only thing keeping me going throughout all this time, knowing that I will hopefully find her again.
I hope that for you as well. And then I'll be like, okay, that was really stressful, so I'm gonna go now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back and I'm just like,
I'm like,
thumbs up. Yeah,
quick walk away.
I've finished my rice.
I am drinking some cocoa rice.
Okay.
Because that is a valid form to consume cocoa
yes.
rice though. You just take a cup and you start drinking it.
I
So I'm,
actually,
like,
you know what she
chugging.
does? She goes outside and she throws up. I think from like stress-induced anxiety. I think she just goes outside into a garden box or whatever the equivalent is and just pukes.
Yeah. They're just made of tires. That's the only difference.
Did Wea actually tell me that Adestia was outside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in which case, I mean, we could collect her and go.
Oh, she doesn't want to come inside.
I forgot Adestia was outside, so
No,
Adestia just saw me run out and puke.
Yeah.
That's
I grab some cocoa rice and some pancake and bring it
Yeah.
outside.
Okay. I also will go outside.
Are there any last conversations you want to have in the last little bit of time we have here?
just kneeling on the ground with like my hands, like my elbows on my knees and my hands, just
I'm
like
just gonna be like, Azura, are you okay? You did great.
I'll be fine. Yeah, that was just a lot. It was just a lot.
You know, I think she likes you.
I don't know. Is she capable of, I suppose if she likes Celis, right? If she's capable of liking, she's stressful. That one.
Fair. Well,
I think I beckon Adestia over when we come out and just kind of bring the conversation to the group of where are we going? And have
Yeah.
Adestia part of this conversation because I know Adestia wants to go and protect their deity.
I
yeah.
saunter over, ambling even.
Um,
And I hand you pancakes and cocoa rice just for some more food.
So what's the
Not pro-
deal?
Not produced from your pocket.
No, I'm holding them in my hands.
Okay, great.
Just
I'm
not
glad we've
pocket food.
established that.
Cocoa rice is not pocket food. Pancake,
No. Well, I mean,
pancakes are definitely pocket food because I definitely walked to school in
Okay.
Samoa with
Okay, but
fair.
the main takeaway we want to emphasize here is that you keep pulling stuff out of your pocket.
and it's
That's
always
the-
food.
Yeah.
It's always food.
I'm
I'm
assuming
buff. I gotta
I
maintain
have-
my protein,
yeah,
bro.
I have like I had offered you some candy yesterday, so I'll probably will just like take one of those and put it in my mouth as like a
palate cleanser.
yeah, not only that, but like a like you center yourself, right? You have to
Yeah.
something to focus on. Yeah, like chewing gum or something like that. I think it's the same way.
So, where are we going?
I mean, I thought we were going to Primehold.
That seems to be the direction we're headed.
Adestia?
You have a plan for stopping this in the long term?
Yeah.
Then I'm tagging along.
Okay.
Okay. So your next destination is going to be Rimehold.
Yeah. I'm so ready to be like, welcome to my crib, MTV. Like, here we have horrors, and here we have more horrors, and here we have a
Horrors.
big crack in the ground.
You see this
100%
dungeon?
real crack in the real ground.
See this dungeon? It's been here for 300 years,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. See this prison cell? I talked my way out of it myself.
But as the group is processing all of this that has come to light about meeting Sarah and kind of getting a sense of what she is like, which is in a few words a lot.
Sad and disturbed, but hopefully we can be friends.
Yeah, there's sadness is on
Yeah.
the stack. Sadness resolves. With that being the case, that is where for today we are going to end the session, folks. That has been session 7, Unearthing Memories. Now, I'm gonna go around and gonna let folks hype themselves up for saying who they were, who they played, and also where we can find them and any bits of their work they're currently involved with. And also, before I get into that, quickly say thank you to the folks who did donate today. We got a couple more
We
things that have been
did?
added to the group.
Oh,
Yes,
we're
we
about
got
to need it. Thank you so much.
Yes, 20 more,
Fuck off.
$20 more
Very
dollars put
much.
in. Yeah, you're gonna need some stuff. This is gonna be a lot of things happening.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
But with that being the case, I'm gonna start from how we started. So I'm gonna start with Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I played Adestia. You can find me places, mostly on Blue Sky at Gena Than. Gena with Than at the end. You can find me, all of my stuff scheduling is in the air, but I am in an ongoing 5e D&D campaign on Entropy Emporium. I believe it's usually Friday. I don't remember what day. We might change the schedule. They will post it on socials at some point. That's usually where you can find me. That's what I got.
Fantastic. And now we're gonna pass it on over to Cat Mom Mirm. Mirm, take it away.
That's right, it's my son. Wow, always in my stuff. You can find me and my cat son here. Hi, my name is Mirm. Pronouns. I've been playing with today. Who uses they them pronouns, and they're the volcanic tracker of the group. You can find me mostly on Blue Sky at Mirm Train. And you can find me in a lot of places because I'm doing a lot of fun stuff right now. Like Wednesday, I'm starting a Star Wars campaign to raise money for the Lupus Foundation over on Daxa GM's channel.
Oh, hey,
And
I'm guesting
then
in that. We're gonna
I
play
know
together.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you to come in because I feel like some of the conversations we've had is you being super cool and awesome, and I'm really excited. And then on Friday I will be on the Nerds with Dice channel playing Vildheim, where I play a giant 7-foot bear woman. And then after that, like immediately after that, I will be on the Pantsless tables doing another charity stream where I'm gonna be playing a drag performer whose name still makes me laugh every time I say it out loud. But that'll be a haha secret until we go. And then on Sunday, I'm starting another new campaign where I'm gonna be playing the Yellow Ranger in a Power Rangers campaign. So I just do a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, follow me on Blue Sky, and I'll be linking all of those there.
Fantastic. Next up, Amber.
Hi, my name is Amber, and I use she, they pronouns, playing Azura, the title navigator who also uses she, her pronouns. I am a streamer over on my own channel at twitch.tv/analog_Amber, where I play a variety of games, focusing a lot on indie games and storytelling games. Coming up in September, I will be celebrating my birthday and 5 years of streaming that we hit back in March. So if you wanted to come party with us, we would love to have you.
Fantastic. And passing it on over to Sebastian.
Hello, I've been Sebastian. I use they them pronouns, and I've been playing Kildrinith, who also uses they them pronouns. As Mirm said, we are going to be in a Star Wars stream together. I'm going to be a guest on the stream, so I'm very excited for it. Like, it'll be on GM Dax's channel, so Wednesday night, you better be there. I also recently released a scenario for the Spire RPG called The Model Minister. You should pick it up if you like hard choices and dark themes and lots of moral complications. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And hello there, everyone. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I have been your conductor for this lovely session. You can find me on Thursdays over on Valdrian's channel at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST, playing a trans egg who has just come out to her entire squadron, and her group is now facing the consequences of their actions from last session, which was apparently included one of our party just randomly getting into almost a fist fight with the person who she has a crush on because the person rolled so badly she was going to go for bisexual menace kind of love reveal and instead landed at her love interest punching her in the face. So if you want more of that kind of chaotic queer energy during Pride Month, go watch us over on Daughters of Io on Valdrian's channel. So with that, I'm just going to wish everyone the best of luck with the upcoming rest of Pride Month, and also just this year has shown already with the new regime so many difficult things that are coming our way, and with so many other events happening in the world that are, in a word, a lot. Find strength and peace of mind where you can. I wish you all strength and spaces to recover, relax, and to tell the complicated stories that must be told about queerness, about race, about all the aspects of ourselves that overlap and intersect with the different ways we need to be in the world to survive and to thrive. So with that, I want to wish everyone a happy time zone and hope that you will be here with us next week as we continue more of Fragments of Loss. So take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.